I was just a kid, 8, maybe 9, but fear makes you grow up fast. Especially when it's not strangers you fear. It's the people who are supposed to protect you. Back then, early 80s, discipline wasn't just accepted, it was expected. If you didn't leave a mark, you weren't doing your job as a parent, or grandparent, in my case. Both my parents worked long hours, and I was often left in the care of my grandmother. She wore her role like a badge of honor, but looking back, she seemed to take too much pride in teaching me a lesson. Her tool of choice? The wooden spoon. Not a figure of speech. A literal, hand-picked wooden spoon. Picked by me, no less. That was part of the ritual. Whenever I stepped out of line, and trust me, the definition of stepping out changed with her mood, she'd look me dead in the eye and say, "Go get a spoon." I knew the drawer by heart. Left side of the kitchen, second one down. It held maybe 8, 10 wooden spoons, some thick and broad, some thin and wiry. I'd learned early on, the small ones hurt more. The surface area was smaller, so the sting was sharper. It snapped against your palm like a mousetrap. The thick spoons, they felt like a dull thud, painful, but bearable. But if I picked the big one, she'd accuse me of trying to be clever and hit harder. So I played her game. I learned the calculations. Which spoons might bruise, which ones might earn her wrath. I became an expert in pain management by age 9. The day everything changed started with something small, something stupid, even. My dad had this little glass terrarium, a gift from my mom. Nothing fancy, just rocks, moss, and water inside a glass bowl. He liked peaceful things, nature in a jar. One day, I came home to find it cracked, sliced across the middle like a spiderweb. I hadn't touched it. Swear to God, I hadn't even gone near it. But Grandma thought otherwise. She stormed into the room with fire in her eyes and barked. "Did you break it?" I told her no. She didn't believe me. She never really believed me. She called me a liar. I talked back. Not yelling, but the kind of defiance that was new for me. I was angry, tired, hurt. She cut me off with that one dreaded command. "Go, get a spoon." I walked to the kitchen slowly. Not because I was afraid. Well, I was, but something else was happening too. Something had shifted inside me. Maybe it was the injustice of being blamed for something I hadn't done. Maybe it was the years of stinging palms. Maybe I was just done being scared. I opened the drawer and pulled out the thinnest, most delicate spoon I could find. I held it in both hands. And then, I pushed my knee into the middle and snapped it. Crack. It broke clean down the middle. My heart was pounding. My ears buzzed with adrenaline. But my face, ice cold. I pressed the two halves together, hiding the fracture. It looked almost normal. I walked back in, spoon in hand, and gave her a look I had never dared give before, one of raw, simmering defiance. She didn't notice the break. Her glasses were thick as Coke bottles. She did notice my expression though. Her lips thinned. Her face flushed. She saw red. She raised the spoon high and brought it down hard. Crack. Not against me. But mid-swing, the spoon shattered in her hand. One piece fell to the floor. The other stayed in her fist. She froze. I screamed like I'd been hit by lightning. I wailed, sobbed, held my hand like it had shattered too. I ran to my room like a wounded animal. And she didn't chase me. From behind my door, I heard her pacing, talking to herself, whimpering. Then, later, when my parents got home, I heard her trying to explain. "I didn't mean to hit him that hard. I don't know what came over me. I've never seen him look at me like that. Jesus, I'm so sorry." She didn't know the spoon was already broken, that it was never her force that did the damage. But the damage was done to her. That was the last time I ever saw the wooden spoon. And more than that, she never laid a hand on me again. Not once. She never apologized to me though. Not directly. She lived the rest of her life with that guilt lodged in her chest like a splinter she couldn't remove. And I let her. 4 years, I carried that secret like a hidden scar, something only I knew. Not out of spite. Not exactly. But because that guilt, That was the only apology I ever got. I didn't tell anyone. Not my parents, not friends, not even my therapist for a while. It stayed buried until I was in my 40s. Over 30 years later, I finally told my parents the truth. And their faces, let's just say they saw me differently after that. That moment, the crack of the spoon, her gasp, my scream, it was the first time I took control. It wasn't just revenge. It was justice. She thought she broke me, but I let her believe she had broken the unbreakable. And in doing so, I broke the cycle. She never got the chance to apologize. And maybe, in some ways, that was the cruelest part. Because for the rest of her life, she had to wonder, what kind of monster am I to hit a child so hard I broke a spoon? And I let her sit in that, because she made me sit in fear for years. Sometimes revenge doesn't come with shouting or confrontation. Sometimes the most powerful revenge is silence. A broken spoon, a broken cycle, and a secret that took 3 decades to set free. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more true stories of revenge, justice, and the quiet strength of those who rise. And tell us in the comments, have you ever served a cold dose of karma without saying a word? Until next time, stay strong, stay smart, and stay silent when it counts.